Okay, it's been a few days, played a bit of the DLC. Now I think I have a good idea of how to tell people how to level. So that's what this video is going to be. How to level Witch Queen. The raid will be launching on March 5th, and I imagine most people are going to want to just get up to whatever the recommended power is for the raid, at least. But if you want to go further, I'll tell you how I went further past that. But generally, I'm going to focus on getting people to 1530, which is the recommended power to get into the raid. After that, contest will be on day 1, so it's not going to matter if you're past 1530. So that's like the goal for the majority of people that I imagine want to grind their levels out before March 5th. So, let's start at the beginning. First, do Legendary Campaign. Why? Because you get 1520 armor off the bat, plus you get the exotic from Ikora at the end, which will be 1525, so it's quite literally free loot, free levels, no reason not to do it, whether you're solo or you're in a 3-man fire team. The difficulty scales down if you're alone, so it's not that bad. Take your time, just get it done. Once you're 1520, that's when you start leveling in the power cap. If you don't know, power cap starts at 1500, but you bypass the first 20 levels because of the campaign, and it goes up to 1550. So basically, after you don't the campaign, you just go into the power cap and you start doing powerfuls. There are a ton of powerfuls to do in the Witch Queen. Some of them you gotta unlock. So for example, I'm gonna show you one right now before we keep going. In the throne world, spoiler alert, I'm sure people know, but spoiler alert. So you're gonna have a vendor in the throne world with Finch, and depending what his vendor rank is, more powerfuls and pinnacles will be available to you. So keep a mind out on that. Let me show you real quick. So deep sight, you're gonna need for stuff later on, but don't worry about it too soon. And then stuff like this will be given to you. Replayable campaign missions at higher difficulties. There will also be a weekly mission where you do 2 of them and you get a powerful. I've already completed it, so you don't see it on my screen, but this is what it looks like. One will be on the left over here, and then the second one will be over here. This will give you a powerful. Wellspring, the 6-man activity, also gives you a powerful, and later on, as you upgrade Finch, there'll be a pinnacle there as well. Just going to show you here. So there's a pinnacle here, a pinnacle there. But you don't worry about pinnacles until you're done with your powerfuls. That's just the general rule of thumb. So, what else is powerful? You've got the Nightfall, not the 100k. You will have a powerful here and a pinnacle. The 100k is the pinnacle. The other one is just complete the Nightfall. 2 hero runs will get it done for you for just a powerful. The Grasp of Avarice dungeon has 2 powerfuls. The first 2 encounters are powerful. The final boss is a pinnacle. So generally, what you'd want to do is just do the first 2 encounters and avoid the final boss until later on. Just save the checkpoint. Don't do it right away. Dares, just like last season, has a powerful for 3 normal completions and then a pinnacle for 1 legend completion. Again, just avoid the legend one until later on. Get 3 normies done, and that's another powerful. The Helm will have the seasonal 6-man activity, which is Sios Battleground. This one has 3 powerfuls. First, it'll say 0 out of 2 for 1 powerful, then 2 out of 4, and then finally 4 out of 6. So 3 different powerfuls are going to be available here. Then you're going to have a pinnacle here that you get by completing, I believe, 10 champion kills. But the good thing is, even if you get the 10 champion kills, you have to physically go pick it up at the vendor. So you can complete it, but then just don't pick it up until later on. Also, the war table here has a powerful available to you based on rankings. Let me show you that real quick. So this is it right here. Just treat this as basically any vendor you would have in the tower. You get the rank up here, and then you would get a powerful down here. So Guardian, Brave, Heroic, Fabled, Mythic, etc., etc. Every time you do that, you get a powerful here. That's just something worth noting because these are pretty decent drops. I believe these are actually +5 in the power cap. Obviously, these cap out before you go into Pinnacle, so those don't work. Don't save those too long. 4 raids. Vault of Glass does give powerfuls. They actually drop +3 and then +5 at Atheon, I believe. And then the more surprising one is Deepstone Crypt. Though it doesn't say it drops powerful gear, it's just like this, it's blank. It in fact does drop powerful gear, just like Vault of Glass. I did the entire raid and tested it, and I was getting powerfuls every single encounter, including challenge. So it might not say it, but it does drop powerfuls, and this is very good information to know. Also, keep in mind that this is tier 3 powerful drops instead of tier 1. So, for example, this would be a +5 as opposed to just doing a normie tier 1, which would be a +3. So, depending on how you're doing your leveling, you might want to save this for a little bit later on. If you don't know what I mean, I'll explain that in a second, but let me go over some more unknown powerfuls. So this Prophecy, it's kind of weird. So somebody told me they were getting on-level drops from Prophecy, which is a good thing to know. So I went in there just to double check, and surprisingly, while you don't always get a good drop, you can get like a -2, -3. You can actually get on-level and +1 drops from these encounters. I don't know why. It's pretty weird, but you can get an on-level drop and sometimes a +1 drop in the event that you need like that one specific slot to level out. So for example, the first boss, you know, gives class item, boots, and I believe energy. So if your class item is like, I don't know, -5 and it's holding you back very much, you can go do the first boss and then hope for a class item and a possible +1, which would be like a +6 upgrade to you, which is almost an entire full level. So thought I would mention that. Same thing goes for Grasp. The regular drops from encounters will work the same way. So for example, if you kill the Ogre boss and for some reason you want to keep farming him because you need, again, energy, boots, or class item, you can just relaunch the checkpoint, get a new checkpoint, whatever, and then just go farm him until you get that drop. Lastly, I wanted to mention, unfortunately, comp. While this does give powerfuls still on glory based on sub-ranks, so ranks and sub-ranks, and it is a lot of powerfuls to go through, if I'm being honest. However, the reason I'm recommending this last is because comp is just so effing bad, dude. SBMM, team balancing, playing people across the earth with terrible connections. It's just, oh, if you have decent SBMM in Crucible on your account, this will just be hell for you if you go in by yourself. Stacked, you can probably blow through it if you're playing stacked, you know, because you're stacked. But if you're a solo player, I would honestly just like maybe go to like hero if you can, and then just get the hell out of this playlist. But yes, this does give powerfuls for sub ranks and major ranks. Just wanted to note that. Same thing with Gambit. However, for Gambit, you'd have to burn a pinnacle to do Gambit ranks, because after 3 matches you will get your pinnacle, as opposed to comp, which is separated from the pinnacle. As you can see right here, it would only be just doing glory playlist. So that's worth noting. And finally, I'm going to show you the vendors in the tower, because they work just the same way as the helm, but here's a visual aid. So here you go. I'm not going to show you every single vendor, but they all work the same way. Banshee here has a rank. Boom, I'm heroic 2. This works the same as any other vendor. You do Banshee bounties, you dismantle gear to rank him up. Once you do, you get a legendary engram, and you get one every major rank that you do. So it's not very hard to level. You just do casual bounties here and there, dismantle weaponry, stuff like that. It's not very hard. So it's basically free, powerful drops. So there you go. For Zavala, it's Vanguard bounties and stuff like that. Shaxx, Crucible bounties, Gambit bounties. I'm going to just note one thing here, because I'm sure people will be annoyed by this, just like I am. But when doing Zavala bounties, make sure you read them, because most of them are going to say in the Vanguard playlist from now on. So they kind of screwed up everything and kind of almost killed the Disgrace strat, which I'm kind of salty about. Some of them will say you can do Strikes and Vanguard playlist, but a majority just say Vanguard playlist. So you have to go actually into the Vanguard playlist to complete these. It's kind of annoying. But other than that, same thing for Zavala, rank up system, powerful engram, yada yada yada. Last thing I'd note, if you're going to do this, you can actually avoid burning your pinnacle for this, because you can just play the element that it is not. So it's Void Singe and Stasis Singe, so you would just play Solar or Arc, and you can avoid getting that pinnacle drop and just do whatever you want to do in the Vanguard playlist bounty. Alright, so finally I want to go over the whole blue up, backfill system, whatever you want to call it. So when you're leveling, doing your powerfuls after your campaign and all that, you're going to run into times where your character can actually benefit from you bluing up, as I would call it. What is bluing up? It's when your character is a certain light level. So for example, I'm 1546, but if I do certain things, I can get him to 1547 and avoid doing another powerful to get to 1547. So rather, instead of burning that powerful, I would get the 47, then do the powerful, and thus making that powerful a bigger upgrade for something else that might drop, instead of being 1 power less. So like a powerful, let's just say for example, would be 49 right now if I did it, right? 1549. If I got my character to 1547 and then did the powerful, it would be 1550. So it's not like a gigantic difference, but when you're min-maxing and blowing up and trying to get as high as possible, it does matter. I'm going to show you guys a quick screenshot here of my leveling real quick. So my character is like this right now. So as you can see, my character is 3 points away from that next level to 47, and I'm missing kinetic, energy, gloves, and class item. If I get any of these within 3 points, meaning like, let's say I would get a energy and then a kinetic that's on level 1546, then my character would automatically level up to 1547, and then I can continue doing powerful or a pinnacle or whatever. But that's what you basically got to do when you're in the power cap. You got to monitor your leveling and see if you're close enough to that next level. Go get an on-level drop to blue up so you can continue growing in an optimized fashion, if you will. So the best way to do this is go on the moon, kill champions on the moon, and they drop on-level drops sometimes. It could be +0 or -2 or 3. So it's not like guaranteed or anything, but it's an extremely easy farm. I'm going to have a video on the channel in regarding that if you're curious what the hell I'm talking about, but essentially it's the Fogoth area. The video will be up soon. Visually, it's much better to look at than describe, because if I try to describe it, it's going to sound like I'm telling you to go to Kentucky or something. Another thing you can do is use Zer boxes. These can also drop you on-level loot. Sometimes they'll be under-level, just like the Moonstrat, but these can drop you on-level stuff for gear that you may be lacking in stat-wise. Now that we're talking about blowing up, I just want to mention this one last time. So just like I mentioned before, you can go into the dungeon, and once you've done the powerful for the first 2 encounters, or even if you just decided to blow through the final boss and you finished the pinnacle, you just were impatient or whatever, but you want to go back and level up properly, you can go into the dungeon and get these drops from each encounter, since they always drop loot and blue up your character. So let's say you finish the final boss and the pinnacle is no longer there, you can actually start this up, and then the final boss basically has a chance to drop everything on normal, or legend, sorry, and then you can get, you know, let's say kinetic. You need an IS Lunar to drop because your kinetic is lacking. You can go farm the final boss for that, or if you need armor pieces, you need a helmet, go farm him for that, so on and so on, in case you don't want to do the moon farm, or you don't have boxes saved. This is just another option for you to blue up. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to ramble and give you like 800 different strategies on how to blue up, because then the video would be like an hour long, and I don't want people watching me ramble on for an hour. So hopefully this helps you guys. If I learn more new information in regards to bluing up really quick, I'll let you guys know. Other than that, you know, stick around, sub to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We stream daily, especially right now with Witch Queen out, trying to hit, you know, the pinnacle cap, or as high as we can. And, yeah, twitch.tv/SneakyBeaver. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.